Hello, everybody. This is Jennifer. I want to apologize that I'm running a few minutes behind schedule. Uh, had a little bit of technical difficulties getting on, but I am here and I am very excited. First of all, I want to thank you for joining me tonight. This is actually the first of many weekly Thursday personal development hangouts that I will be hosting here at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time each and every week, and I'm very excited about it. We are going to be covering one of my favorite topics to talk about on the planet, and that is self-development, personal development, personal empowerment, and how we can become better, stronger individuals and really become the presence that we are meant to be on the planet. So what we're going to actually do tonight is talk about a topic that is rooted in the book Think and Grow Rich, and that is how to develop your own major definite purpose. Now, for those of you that may never have watched have never have read the book Think and Grow Rich, I highly, 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 highly recommend that you pick up that book. Think and Grow Rich is literally one of the most powerful personal development books that has ever been written. And in fact, this book is really at the very root of it. It's for lack of a better term, it's a new thought type book, or even a law of attraction type of book that was written, over, I don't know, 60 years before the book, The Secret, was even conceived. We know that the whole concepts that are behind The Secret and even Think and Grow Rich, these are universal truths that have been taught for hundreds and thousands of years. So none of this stuff is really new under the sun. However, what has been done is taking those types of principles and applying them to various topics. And in this case, we're talking about how to accumulate wealth. And let me just start off by saying that we really need to keep in mind that when we talk about the accumulation of wealth, we're not talking about just accumulation for accumulation's sake. We're not just talking about becoming hoarders of money just to say that we have millions and billions of dollars and you're going to sit in your pearl palace and watch all the peasants suffer while you enjoy all the fruits of your labor. That may be, and again, that may be what you desire to do. And everyone has an individual choice and an individual right to do whatever they feel that is resonating within their soul. However, at the root of wealth and what wealth is, it's really nothing more than an energy. It's an energy vibration. And what we're really teaching is how to master your energy vibrations. And in this case, an energy vibration of abundance. A lot of people don't really understand the whole concept of what the law of attraction is all about. So I'm going to talk about that real briefly. The law of attraction basically states that like attracts like, that we are either consciously or most of the time unconsciously attracting different people, circumstances, and things into our experience based on our thoughts and our core beliefs. A lot of things that we believe about ourselves, about our world, about society, it's all formulated within our subconscious. And these are things that we've picked up all along our path from the time that we were children. When we were being brought up, we were exposed to different things. We paid attention to how our parents interacted. We listened to what we saw on TV, what we heard on the radio, what we heard adults talking about, what we heard other children talking about. We picked up on all these subconscious programs about who we are, what we are capable of, what our circumstances are, and what to expect from this thing called life. So if we really were in a situation where we experienced our parents struggling to pay the bills and having a hard time with keeping the lights on or feeding us or whatever, subconsciously we have taken a idea that money is hard to come by and that we need to struggle in order to make money. I can't tell you how many times that that I hear people talk about, one day my ship is going to come in and I'm going to win the lottery. There's just a lot of people that really feel that the only way that they can truly reach financial abundance is if they somehow win it through a chance of through some sort of luck or chance. And that is a subconscious mindset. That is a mindset that has told those individuals that they do not have the capability to create the abundance that they truly desire right now. And so what we want to do is really become aware of these subconscious programs that we have picked up along our path and start to unravel them so that we can really start to pinpoint what it is we desire and what are the mindsets and what are the thought processes that are keeping us separated from exactly what we want. So I want to bring up another really powerful thing to check out. If you are not familiar with a company called Peak Potentials, Peak Potentials is a company that was founded by a gentleman by the name of T. Harv Eker. And he is a multimillionaire, author, trainer, and just a phenomenal individual. However, he started a company called Peak Potentials, and Peak Potentials offers a workshop. It's actually a free workshop that they do all across the country, and it's called the Millionaire Mind Intensive. If you have never participated in the Millionaire Mind Intensive, or if you've never heard of the Millionaire Mind Intensive, I cannot tell you how strongly I highly recommend this experience. Number one, the value and the quality of this program is so next level to the point that I have been to, I don't know, quite a few personal development industry type events, workshops, seminars, weekends, all kinds of stuff. And I've got to tell you that the Millionaire Mind Intensive was by far one of the best events, period, that I have ever participated in. And the information was high quality. The material was poignant, and it really forced individuals to look at themselves and examine their core beliefs about themselves as it relates to money. And I cannot recommend this event any more than I'm saying it right now. So if you actually, I think I'm going to put the link below this video, but definitely make sure that you check out the Millionaire Mind Intensive and participate in that, because what they actually do in that event is that they explore your core beliefs around money. A lot of people don't even realize that they have really negative subconscious beliefs about money. We've been told, I know for myself growing up, I grew up in a working class family. And although we weren't, dirt poor, we definitely were not rich. My parents made a concerted effort to make sure that I had the best education. They were very, very adamant about that. And so I went to private schooling, even though, I know it was a financial challenge for them. But one of the things that I experienced with that was constantly being told, if I wanted certain things, I went to school with kids that had a lot more money than me, that came from wealthy families, whose parents were CEOs and presidents of large corporations and stuff like that. And, I didn't understand why I didn't have the same resources or wasn't able to do some of the same things that they were able to do. And some of the things that I was told coming up was, money doesn't grow on trees. You don't even need that. You're just being spoiled. All these different things that I was told as a child that were programmed into my subconscious and took root in my ideas of what I was actually worthy of. And, of course, my parents did not mean to, lock me into a certain mindset of lack or limitation. However, they themselves were speaking from their own concepts of what they had been programmed with. You see, people cannot give you anything more than what they have. So they were giving me the program that they had been programmed with. And so it's not until we can start to uh, individually become conscious of the programs that we're running in our subconscious that we can actually make a different decision and get a different result. And so that is what the Millionaire Mind Intensive is all about. And if you go for that full weekend and commit to doing the exercises and going and playing full out, I can tell you that your life will literally never be the same. So make sure that you check out that event. Now back to what we're talking about tonight, which is your definite major purpose in life. What I'm going to do is actually go ahead and share my screen. I have some information I want to share with you on Think and Grow Rich. So I'm going to share my screen right now. Give me just a minute. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's not it. Okay, now we're going to look at Think and Grow Rich. There are actually 13 core principles that are found in the book Think and Grow Rich. And these are basically what Napoleon Hill discovered were the principles or the keys to success that he found after studying hundreds of millionaires and their success, their successful lives. What were their habits? What were their beliefs? What did they do on a consistent basis? What he did was he dedicated his life to studying what made financially successful people, financially successful. And so that is what formulated the core principles that are outlined in the book Think and Grow Rich. So let's talk about what these 13 principles are. The first principle is desire. And of course, we know desire is having a strong yearning for a particular thing. It's not, hey, I want something or I would like something. It's literally having a passionate want, a passionate need for whatever that item is. That is a desire. Okay. Then we have faith. Faith is not necessarily about in terms of a religious belief, but faith in the idea that whatever you are really truly desiring in life, you can actually create that. So that would be faith. Actually, I'm not going to go ahead and define all of these because we're going to define them in more depth in just a few minutes, but I'll just list these 13 principles out. We have desire, we have faith, we have autosuggestion, we have specialized knowledge, we have imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, power of the mastermind, the mystery of sex transmutation, the subconscious mind, the brain, and the sixth sense. So these are the 13 core principles that come into play for anyone who is desiring to literally transform their financial life and play at the highest levels to achieve the highest levels of success. I actually printed this out because I really feel that this is super powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and read this to you because what I really want for you to understand is that a lot of times we spend, as human beings, we tend to spend a lot of time thinking about what are the material things that make up what we think is success. We want to know, how should we file this paperwork or speak to this person or We want to know how to build the website, or connect our autoresponder and do all these technical things in regards to what we think is going to equate to our success. But we really don't place enough value and enough focus on the actual mental and spiritual backdrop of success. It really is, it's an energy, it's a vibration, it is like attracting like. You cannot attract something to you that you are not. You cannot attract abundance and success unless you are abundance and success in your spirit. You have to feel that, you have to radiate that, and people around you will start to feel that energy when they're around you. So that's what the law of attraction is all about, but that's really what these principles are all about. We're teaching you how to resonate the vibration of whatever it is that you truly desire. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and read this passage out of the book Think and Grow Rich to you so you can get an idea. You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, because when Henley wrote the prophetic lines, I am the master of my fate, I am the captain of my soul, he should have informed us that we are the masters of our fate, the captains of our souls, because we have the power to control our thoughts. He should have told us that the ether in which this little earth floats, in which we move and have our being, is a form of energy moving at an unconceivably high rate of vibration, and that the ether is filled with the form of universal power which adapts itself to the nature of the thoughts we hold in our minds and influences us in natural ways to transmute our thoughts into their physical equivalent. If the poet had told us of this great truth, we would know why it is that we are the masters of our fate, the captains of our souls. He should have told us with great emphasis that this power makes no attempt to discriminate between destructive thoughts and constructive thoughts, that it will urge us to translate into physical reality thoughts of poverty, such as just as quickly as it will influence us to act upon thoughts of riches. He should have told us, too, that our brains become magnetized with the dominating thoughts which we hold in our minds, and by means with which no man is familiar, these magnets attract us to the forces, the people, the circumstances of life which harmonize with the nature of our dominating thoughts. He should have told us that before we can accumulate riches in great abundance, we must magnetize our minds with intense desire for riches, that we must become money conscious until the desire for money drives us to create definite plans for acquiring it. So that is really, really, really powerful. And I hope you really grasped what they were saying right here. In this passage, Napoleon Hill talks about the fact that regardless of whether you're thinking thoughts of poverty or thoughts of abundance, whatever thought you are holding in your consciousness, you are drawing the people, the places, the situations into your existence that resonate with that primary vibration. So a lot of times what will happen with people is they may have some type of challenge that presents itself. Maybe it's a financial challenge. They've lost their job or something along those lines. And so then they start to worry and obsess over the fact that they don't have any money. And so then it seems that all of a sudden things start happening that require, that show up and demonstrate that they don't have money. Suddenly the car breaks down. Then they get a speeding ticket. Then they you know, something happens, oh, their tooth, they get a cavity and they need to go to the dentist and they don't have insurance and now they got to pay for the extraction of the tooth, or whatever the case may be. It seems that there's always something that happens that lines up with the idea that there is not enough money, because again, in consciousness, that person is holding there is not enough. And so their environment is starting to demonstrate exactly what their core belief is. And that's how our universe works. That's how our world works. And what a lot of us, you know, what's kind of interesting is that this is a principle that is just a universal principle. A lot of people I've talked to want to make it into a religious thing or a non-religious thing. You know, they may have their own religious beliefs and they feel that these kind of principles don't necessarily line up with what they may believe in terms of their what they've been taught in their religious background. However, upon closer inspection, not only will most individuals find that it in fact does line up with their spiritual, their religious beliefs, but it also is simply universal principle that is the same now, forever, and always. And just by simply becoming conscious of this principle and paying attention to your own thoughts and what you're thinking at any given moment, you'll start to become aware of how those core beliefs are playing out as scripts in your life, with the people that you see, with the environments that you attract, with the experiences that you have. So that's something that you really need to start thinking about. You indeed are the master of your fate. You're the captain of your soul. That means that you have the power to decide what you want to focus on. I got to tell you that I'm going to share with you a story. I actually have a mentor who I've known for a number of years. He's actually encouraged me for quite some time to go make a trip to a luxury car dealership. And I'm not talking Mercedes or BMWs or anything along those lines. He was encouraging me to go to the Maserati dealer, the Rolls-Royce dealer, the Bugatti dealer, the, you know, the super high-end vehicles, the Ferrari dealership, that type of thing. And the reason why he was encouraging me to do that was because he understands, it was a couple of things. Number one, he understands that everything around us has an energy vibration. And that is whether or not it is, you know, something that is very, very high quality, well made, and very expensive, or something that is dilapidated and broken down and used. They all have an energy vibration. And so when you get into a car and it's halfway falling apart and the windshield is broken and the rear view mirror has tape on it and the tires are somewhat flat and there's a hole in the leather in the seat, when you have a car like that and you're driving in that car, there is a certain energy vibration that is transferred to you. You start to feel a certain way when you're in a car that looks like that. Now take that and separate that and put yourself into a Rolls-Royce. You have the highest quality leather that can be found anywhere in the world. You have, you know, pearl accents and, you know, cherry wood finishes and, you know, umbrellas in the door, in built into the door that cost $1,000 on their own. You have, you know, just these amazing finishes, this super high-end quality, and you sit in a car like that, and you have a totally different vibrational energy that is transferred to you from a car like that in comparison to the first car. And so the lesson that he was trying to let me feel was just to, number one, absorb the energy of pure opulence, absorb the energy of complete abundance, top of the line luxury. That was one aspect of it. The second aspect of it was to really come to a place of understanding that there is nothing on the planet that is made by any human being that we as individual human beings are not worthy of. I'm going to repeat that. There is nothing on this planet that has been man-made that you as a human being are not worthy of. And so often, so many of us are made to feel that we're not worthy of great things. We're not worthy of abundance. Again, we're playing those childhood scripts out. You know, it took me, I think he gave me that instruction to go to that dealership about 2 years ago. I just went to that car dealership 2 weeks ago. And I got to tell you that it wasn't because there wasn't any dealerships around. You know, although I had an excuse all the time of why I never went, the reality was subconsciously in my own spirit, I was not feeling worthy of going to this dealership. I was not feeling worthy of sitting in a $350,000 car. I was intimidated at the idea of going into that environment and having somebody look at me like, what are you doing here? You don't belong here. You do not have $350,000 to buy this vehicle. And so that was my own self-esteem issue. That was my own limiting belief that kept me stagnated and kept me from actually experiencing not only the opulence of that vehicle, but also feeling worthy of all good things. How can we truly have abundance? How can we truly have what we desire in life if we don't feel worthy of it? How can I say that I want to make $1 million or I am going to make $1 million in income, but yet I don't feel worthy to sit in a $350,000 car? That is less than half of the money that I'm planning to make. So how can I say that I am not worthy to sit in a $350,000 car? Even if I don't want that car, it's not a matter of me wanting to own that car. You know, maybe it's a Bentley that I want, or maybe it's a Bugatti or whatever it is. It's not the point. The point is to actually feel the resonance of that abundant environment, sitting in that luxurious car and feeling that energy transference of pure abundance. And also recognizing that I am completely and totally worthy of this item. That is one of the biggest lessons that we've got to accept and got to really come to an understanding on in order to really, really take our lives to that next level and really start to create the life that we desire and the life that we deserve. We have to start to understand that we are worthy. You are worthy of all good things. That is huge. If you cannot come to that, you are going to have a hard time on this abundance journey of getting what you really want. So what we're actually going to do over the next couple of weeks is go through each of the principles in Think and Grow Rich. I'm going to go over all of the principles right now, just a basic overview, and then I'm going to talk about developing your major purpose in life. So let's go ahead and talk about the first principle, desire. Of all the principles of Think and Grow Rich, the principle of desire is no doubt the most important of all. For this reason, Hill has placed it at the very beginning of his book. To understand what Hill means by desire, it is important to forget all connotations of wistful dreaming that the word may hold. Hill's desire is not about wishing, as wishes may or may not come true, usually by the action of some outside agent. It is about wanting. Only when a man or woman truly wants something does he or she act towards attaining that which is wanted. Where wishing is often undefined and non-committal, wanting is well-defined and commits to a course of action. When wanting something is fully developed and working for you, subconsciously at all hours of the day, you have desire. I'm going to read that again. When wanting something is fully developed and working for you subconsciously at all hours of the day, you have desire. That is something that is working on your behalf all of the time. You are constantly thinking about it. In your sleep before you go to bed, you're thinking about what you want. In the morning when you wake up, you're thinking about what you want. In your dreams, you're thinking about what you want. When you are talking on the phone, you're talking about what you want. When you are, getting dressed in the morning, when you're in the shower, you are thinking about what you want. Your subconscious and your conscious mind is in line about exactly what you want. You are in alignment with what you want. That is a burning desire. Ensure that your wants become desire. Hill proposes taking some time to develop a clear and concise statement of that desire. It is important, he argues, to be very specific. If the desire is to have money, the amount of money must be specified or desire turns into wish. Hill also felt that it is important to establish when the goal is to be achieved and what service or goods will be rendered in return for achieving of the goal. This should all come together in an action plan which will be revisited often to imprint the desire in the mind. The reader well-versed in self-help literature will recognize this advice. The psychological importance of having a clear goal for one's happiness and for the achieving of that goal is undisputed today. We call it a mission statement. It is wise to note, however, that Hill's focus is not on the mission statement itself, but the principle of desire that lies behind the statement. Many have picked up a self-help book and, following its advice, written a mission statement only to make nothing of it because it was not backed up by the principle of desire. So this is really, really important. We need to remember that it's not about just saying, I want to make $1 million. Okay, that's a goal, but why do you want to make $1 million? What is that $1 million going to do for you? What is it going to do for your family? What do you plan to do with it? What is the core behind that desire? What is the fuel to the flame that really makes that something that you really, really desire to achieve, that you really, really want? What is it? That is desire. And you need to tap into that in order to really bring your desire to life. The next principle is faith. I'm not going to read all this because this is a lot, and we just have another little over 15 minutes in this session, and I won't belabor this because we're going to go over all these principles in the next coming weeks. However, I will list them out. We have faith. We have auto-suggestion. We have specialized knowledge. We have imagination, organized planning, decision, persistence, the mastermind, sex transmutation, the subconscious, the brain, the sixth sense. Okay, so we're going to talk about all those in the next coming weeks. I won't belabor that tonight because we can get really deep into those other subjects. But right now, tonight, I just want to focus on the major, definite purpose and your desire, which is the first principle. So, from desire to reality in 6 easy steps. 6 definite, practical steps to transform a burning desire into reality. So this is the 6 steps that you would need to put into play to turn your dream, turn your desire into a reality. Number 1 is fix in your mind an exact picture of what you desire. It's not sufficient merely to say, for example, I want plenty of money. Be as definite to the amount as possible. So if your desire is to make $300,000 this year, you need to say, my desire is to make $300,000. You don't want to say, you know what, I want to make a lot of money this year. Your subconscious doesn't know what a lot of money is. Your subconscious, you're used to making $30,000 a year. A lot of money may be $35,000 a year to your subconscious. So you have to be very, very specific so that you can take root in your conscious and your subconscious mind about what you're doing here. The second thing that you need to do is determine exactly what you intend to give in return for the thing that you desire. There's no such reality as something for nothing. So that being said, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are looking to start a business, if you are, just trying to figure out how you can accomplish your financial goals for this year, what you're going to have to figure out is what exactly is the service or product that you are going to give in order to get compensated for that item. Like, what are you going to give to the planet? How are you going to serve others that will allow you to get the compensation of whatever dollar amount that you want? Do you know that money is nothing more than energy? It's an energy flow. You are giving others energy in the form of service, and they are giving you energy back in the form of money. That's all this is. You are giving energy for energy. It's the same thing. It just comes back in a different form. So that's why it needs to be very clear about what exactly you're going to be giving to others in compensation for the money you desire. The third step is establish a definitive date by which you intend to possess the desired thing. So you can't just say, I want to have $300,000. When do you want to have that $300,000? By what date do you want to have that $300,000? What day are you going to have that $300,000? You have to draw a line in the sand so that you're telling yourself, telling your subconscious that this is what we're doing and this is what's going to happen. So you need a definitive date. That is imperative. Step number 4. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire and begin at once, whether you feel entirely ready or not, to put this plan into action. One of the biggest things that people do a lot of times is that they study long and they study wrong. Have you ever heard the saying that says that money loves speed? Well, that is exactly the truth. The faster that you take action and figure out the details along the way, the faster you're going to start to get a result and start to create an abundance flow that's going to just magnetize and multiply and get bigger and bigger and magnetize some more. So you just need to start to just decide to take action and don't worry about the details, the minute details. They'll work themselves out just in the process of you taking action. Number 5, write out a clear, concise statement of your responses to the preceding 4 steps. You know, people are always talking about you need to write down your goals, write down your goals, write down your goals. A lot of times people say, you know what, I know what I want to do, I know what I'm going to do, but they haven't written their goals down. This is an imperative step in the process. You have to write out your goals. You have to write out your statement of desire. You have to make it plain, make it clear, and write it down. You have to see it. You have to go through the process of physically writing it. That's part of the subconscious programming that's going on in your mind by actually physically writing that statement down. And there's more power in physically writing it than even typing it. I encourage you to write it out. Write it out with a pen and paper. Okay? The 6th step is to read your written statement aloud twice daily. Once after rising in the morning and once just before retiring at night. As you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of whatever your goal happens to be. This is, it's so simple, it's so easy that most people just won't do it because we think that success principles are so complex. We think that there's some magic tool or system or technique or tip or all these different things. But what it boils down to is our own mental programming. We are literally, as human beings, we are radio transmitters. We're sending out signals to the universe about what we desire, what we expect, what we believe. And right now, if you're experiencing something that is not what you really want, that's because subconsciously you're sending out a signal that is not in line, maybe not in line with your conscious beliefs, but it's in line with your subconscious beliefs. So you need to start to have a different frame of reference, and that comes by being clear about what you want and repeating that statement over and over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes so deeply rooted in your subconscious that you believe it, and even before it's appeared in front of you. When you can do that, when you can start to read that statement aloud and really, really feel it in your spirit, in your mind, in the cells of your body, that's when you are on the cusp of greatness, and that's when whatever you are visioning is going to come to pass. That's a big portion of the process. So what I am going to do is give you an example of a definite major purpose practice. Now, what I recommend that you do is actually go to YouTube and Google and actually type into the YouTube search for 528 hertz meditation audio. What a lot of people don't realize is 528 hertz is actually the frequency, the sound frequency of God. It is the love frequency. and it actually puts your DNA back into balance. It's a energetic vibration that puts you back into balance. And so what you want to do is actually look up that frequency, and what you can do is actually go to Google something called free YouTube downloader. It's actually a program that installs itself into your browser. When you do that, you can actually download the audio of a YouTube video. You can download the actual video, and you can download just the audio only. What I want you to do is download the audio only. And when you do that, what I want you to do is take this text and create a personal meditation for yourself. Because what you're going to be doing is programming your subconscious with not only the sound frequency, but also the words that are clearly defining your definite major purpose. So what I'm going to do is actually make this available to all of you that are attending this webinar. But I'm going to just let you take a look at it. You're going to be recording this in your own voice. And here's the text that you're going to use. Here is your major definite purpose. By the first day of, put whatever month, the year, I will have in my possession whatever the dollar amount is, monthly residual income that will come to me in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In exchange for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and best possible quality of service in the capacity of whatever your business is. I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes. I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at the time and in the proportion that I deliver the service I intend to render for it. I am awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow the plan when it is received. So that is your portion of your major definite purpose. Now, these are the principles that you're going to repeat. I'll go ahead and state these. First, I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite major purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here and now promise to render such action. Second, I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of autosuggestion that any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression through some practical means of attaining the object back of it. Therefore, I will devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I shall have developed sufficient self-confidence for its attainment. Fifth, I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction which does not benefit all whom it affects. I will succeed by attracting to myself the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. I will induce others to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, and cynicism by developing love for all of humanity. because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success. I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat it out loud once a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and actions so that I will become a self-reliant and successful person. I am so happy. I can now see myself with vibrant health and abundant energy. I have all the free time in the world to go where I want to go and do the things I want to do. I am truly free to co-create my life with God. This is actually part of your personalization. What you're going to want to do with this is actually this first portion, it should have been separated out, is part of your committed proclamations. What you're going to want to do after that is create your own I am proclamations. You're going to create your own I am, the proclamations of exactly what you are creating. I am pure abundance. I am living a life of my own design. I am spending unlimited time with my family and friends. I am traveling the world and seeing exotic locations. I am eating the finest foods which are available. I am perfect love and perfect peace. You want to have these proclamations that you integrate into this practice, and that is what you want to do. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is make this document available so that you can make your own custom document, that you can create your own meditative practice that you want to do every morning and every evening on a daily basis. If you do this daily and you focus really on what your major definite purpose is, you have no choice but to focus because you're doing it morning and night. If you follow those principles and do that, you're going to find that things start to get simpler. People appear out of nowhere to help you achieve your goals. Things start to fall in line and fall into place. You don't have any more skills than you had the day before, but suddenly people listen to you. Suddenly people are magnetized to you. It's all because you have developed faith and confidence in yourself and you are clear about what exactly you are creating. So this is a very important and mandatory step in the process of creating your ideal life, creating whatever it is that you truly desire. And so I want to just invite you to come along this journey, because what we're going to do is actually go through each of these 13 principles and outline how you can use all of these principles to create a life of your own design and attain the wealth that you truly, truly desire and deserve. So with that being said, that is all that we have for tonight. I definitely thank you for joining me and look forward to seeing you on next week's event. Until next time, just remember to dream big, to love bigger. God bless, and I'll see you on next Tuesday. Bye-bye.